Okay. So you had this honor of cooking at the grand event, which is the Ambani wedding.
Yeah.
And it had been talk of town throughout during the wedding season. So what was your experience like?
So when I first met them before the wedding, and I was doing food trials for them. They said, "Chef, we understand that you're the best to represent Goa." These were their words. And give us flavors of Goa. Don't give us those molecular bubbles and smokes and this and that. We want hearty flavors. And that's what I did. I represented various communities of Goa, right from the Veldips, their food, right from the Saraswats, their food, right from the Catholics, their food, but full vegetarian.
Only vegetarian.
Only vegetarian. So when I presented to them, they loved the food. And they told me that, "Chef, are you sure this is all veg?" I said, 100% veg. There's nothing wrong with this. Granny used to say, don't never build a wall because there are animals, there are birds. They don't need to know the boundaries. For them, it is one land. Even the fruits, what grow there, all the mango trees, the chiku trees, whatever trees are there, jackfruit and blah, blah, blah. The trees, whatever they give us, fruit, should be enough for us, for the animals, for the birds, and the land. So this is the policy, right? It's inclusive.
Yes.
It's not about building fancies and doing electrical barbed wires and all that. It is about
respecting nature,
respecting Mother Earth.
Yeah.
Right? So that is the philosophy that my granny has given me. Well, the one thing I can remember is the hummus. Hummus, our Goan hummus, I can't get over it. I love it. I can have it for breakfast, I can have it for lunch, and I can have it for dinner.
How do you have it for your breakfast? With some chapati?
With chapati or with rice, pancake, pode.
Yeah.
Because it is something which is, I think, in my blood. It's in my DNA. The mellow flavors of it's nothing overpowering. It's simple ingredients.
Yes.
And you let it sit overnight and have it the next morning, kalchi kodi.
Yes.
It's even better.
Yeah. Hello everyone, welcome back to yet another delightful episode on Popcorn with Piyu. I'm your host Priyanka Nagdesai, and our today's guest is someone who brings soul to your plate. He's a celebrated chef, a passionate storyteller through food, and heart behind culinary gems like Kavatina, Tables on Hills, and so many. He's taken Goan cuisine to new height while also keeping it rooted to our traditions. So I'm thrilled to welcome ever-inspiring chef, Mr. Avinash Martins. Hello, Chef Avinash. Welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Thank you. It's a pleasure for having me. I'm doing very well, thank you.
Most welcome. It's our pleasure to have you with us as well. So I think you usually have a very busy schedule. You keep traveling, isn't it?
Yes, my work has grown a lot in the last few years.
Yeah.
People from all over the country want to know what I'm doing, and I get invited all over the country,
Yes.
outside the country as well.
Can you tell us a bit about your work? Like, what exactly does it all include?
So my claim to fame is what I've done for Goa.
Yes.
The taking Goan cuisine, which is a very, I would say, mother cuisine, a very cuisine which is evolved at home.
Yeah.
I've made an attempt to take it outside the home and take it on a fine dining platform.
Yes.
People really don't know what Goan food is all about. They only think it's a few ingredients or a few dishes.
Yes.
They don't know the depth of what Goan cuisine is.
Yes.
So it makes my life exciting to curate a menu for the guest and curate a menu, not just only the dishes, but do a storytelling to the menu and then convey it to the world.
Sure. I think it's a pride for us Goan to have someone like you who can take our Goan cuisine to national map. But do you think it gets the global recognition which it deserves?
See, I mean, it's a process, it's a journey.
Yes.
I started this journey 4 years back, and I'm very happy with where it's come. It's come a long way.
Yeah.
Yes, the attempt is to take it globally. We would want the world to look at what Goa is,
sure,
and not look at Goa as only as a party place.
Yeah.
We want the world to also understand our rich cultural diversity
Yes.
our communities which are there,
Yeah.
and then expect to eat the food from all the communities.
Sure. As you have mentioned that you keep traveling for your work, which is the best place that you have visited till date? Something that has stayed with you.
See, it's very difficult to answer this question. Each and every place has got its own unique beauty. If I tell you, I've been to Uttarakhand, a place called Munshiari, which is across almost touching Nepal.
Yes.
The beauty, the scenic beauty, the natural beauty there is
Yes.
amazing. Water, you can have it from any stream, it's so pure. This nature is untouched there. There are berries and fruits growing
All around.
on the corners. There are not even proper streets because it's that part of the world. If you come to the Nilgiris, it's beautiful.
Yes.
Southern India, it's big Nilgiri trees. The air is
Yeah.
so pure. You're breathing. You're eating good ingredients. Same way you come to the Konkan coast, anywhere from the Malvan to Chip or Malvan and the whole Sindhudurg coast. Such beautiful seafood you get. Such beautiful beaches are there. So I think it's difficult as a chef to say I like only this place. Each and every terrain of India is beautiful.
Yeah. Sure. Now that you have tried different cuisine, is there a special food item that you have tried once but it has stayed with you forever? Like you just can't get over it?
Well, the one thing I can remember is the hummus.
One.
Hummus, our Goan hummus, I can't get over it. I love it. I can have it for breakfast, I can have it for lunch, and I can have it for dinner.
How do you have it for your breakfast? With some chapati?
With chapati or with rice, pancake, pode.
Yeah.
Because it is something which is, I think, in my blood. It's in my DNA. The mellow flavors it's nothing overpowering. It's simple ingredients.
Yes.
And you let it sit overnight and have it the next morning, kalchi kodi.
Yes.
It's even better.
Yeah. Okay. Did you always know that you wanted to be a chef? Like when did you first realize that you had this intense passion for cooking?
So I come from a sailor background.
Sailor.
Sailors. My dad, my uncles are captains on board the ship.
Okay.
So I've always been surrounded by good ingredients.
Okay.
Since my father went abroad, he got a lot of imported ingredients.
Okay.
So we had a good collection of cheese. We had a good collection of cold cuts, tinned stuff. So I've been born and brought up in they say na khate pite parivar.
Yeah.
So I've been always surrounded by good food, good ingredients. I never thought I would be a chef.
Okay.
So after my +2, did my science, physics, chemistry, maths, and I joined the ships to be a captain. Like it is a cadet program. Because again, it was a no-brainer. I just had to follow my family tradition. But then after joining, I realized that something from inside is not making me happy. If I'm going to continue this from the rest of my life, am I going to be happy internally? I said no. Yes, I'll be making a lot of money. I'll be getting to see a lot of places like my father did. I mean, he was all over the world. But it wasn't my calling. So I came back home and I introspected and I said, what I love from the core of my heart is cooking.
When did you first realize that you love cooking? Like, what was that moment?
I started cooking for my friends, for my family when I was as probably small as 6th grade, 6th, 7th standard.
Yeah.
I used to make this fried rice. I used to see what is happening on these television sets and then make my own thing. So for me, it was banana or khilana. That joy, what you get, that always was there. But I never thought it would come professionally as a career until my +2 when I joined the ship and came back and I said, I'm going to take that up as my passion.
Okay. So we all know that you joined as a trainee at the Abroad Grant at the beginning of your career.
Yes.
Yeah. Can you share your experience there? Is there something that you learned at that time that has still influenced you on your journey as a chef? So
I'll give you a little bit of a back thing from there. So I joined hotel management school.
Yeah.
It's a course which does a general overall department. So you learn F&B, you learn housekeeping, front office, and kitchen.
Yeah.
So after 3 years, then I decided to uh, do this, give an interview for Oberoi School or OCLD program, Oberoi Center for Learning and Development. It's a 2-year postgraduate diploma which specializes in this particular field. So again, it's one of the toughest things to get to, and if you're got in the program, you are considered very lucky. I got into the program. I did 2 years of post graduation in culinary science.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that's done a lot to my career. It's given us specialistic training in the departments you want to be as a chef, and it does a lot of boost to our confidence. Exposure is amazing. Oberoi is one of the finest in the industry,
Yeah.
and they don't compromise on anything.
Yeah.
And I consider myself lucky. I mean, God's been very gracious.
Yeah.
And out of coming out of OCLD program, then they place you in any of the hotels as managers. So it gives you that confidence, that edge. In the 2 years, it's like commando training for kitchen.
You are
chef.
given best exposure in that way.
Yes, we were given best exposure. One example I'll give you was in the year 2003 2004,
Yeah.
Oberoi Grand in Calcutta.
Yes.
40 of their cooks went on a strike
Okay.
because of some union issue. And our batch was 12 of us, training in different parts of the country. We were overnight called to Calcutta, put in the kitchen, and we were replacing 40 of them. So you imagine.
That was a huge responsibility.
It was big, but we did it brilliantly. And that's what gives you that confidence. Right? There's no department you're working. You're just working, making sure that a guest doesn't understand or feel there is a shortage of people. The product is the same, no matter if there are 10 people or one guy doing the job. So that's what gives us the confidence.
Yeah. Okay. So Kavatina is often described as something which is more than a restaurant. It's a space where every dish kinds of tells a story and guest experience something which is deeply personal and kind of rooted to its culture. So it's a restaurant that not only serves great food, but at the same time it preserves nature and creates some meaningful dining area. So when you first started with Kavatina, what was your vision for it? Like, did you always start it with an idea to create a space wherein storytelling would be expressed through food and age-old techniques?
Yes. So after my stint in Oberoi, I traveled abroad.
Yeah.
I worked with some lovely Michelin chefs, good
Yes.
restaurants, good places. And what I observed there is every chef took pride in his own mother cuisine.
Okay.
It was exactly the opposite in India.
Yeah.
Here we were celebrating Italian food, Mexican food,
Yeah.
Thai food, Japanese food, this food, that food. Very few people celebrated their own food. And if they celebrated it also, they did the general thing. Like in Goa, there are so many Goan restaurants, right?
Yes.
But what are they doing? They're doing the same generic stuff. Masala fry,
Yeah.
rava fry, fish, prawns, rava, masala fry, curry,
Yes.
and madkyo, whatever, calamari, batagal.
Yeah.
There was nothing more than that. So when I came back to India, I said, let me start by doing something very safe. I
Okay.
did bits and parts of Goa, bits and parts of India,
Yeah.
and then the world. So I made it world cuisine.
Okay.
Again, if you understand the dynamics of Goa, North Goa, South Goa, there's a
Yes.
huge difference.
Yeah.
South Goa, our people are more, they don't want too much of experiment. They like to stick to their classics. It's more of a local crowd.
Yeah.
And the North is exactly the opposite.
Yeah.
North is more of a cosmo crowd.
Hmm.
People want to experiment.
Yes.
They don't mind a different style and this and that.
Yes.
So I said I don't have huge pockets
Yeah.
to incur losses. So let's play safe. Let's give people what they are comfortable, and slowly, we'll notch up the entire game. So that's what I've done. I started in 2013. Over the years, I've tamed it down to my style food, knocked off the rest of generic stuff like pastas and all that. And then I made it Goa. The pandemic helped me because for 6 to 8 months close to 8 months, our restaurant was shut. I don't do the delivery.
Okay.
The
Takeaways.
tomato and
Yeah.
all. I don't do it there. It's about experience.
Yes.
So I said, so much free time, what do I do? So I started going into these villages and meeting all the artisans. So I met the bakers, I met the fishermen, I met the toddy tappers, sausage makers, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So all these artisans. And then I said, these guys have such beautiful stories.
Hmm.
We have to celebrate them in terms of food.
Yeah.
So post pandemic 2021, I said, this is going to be Goa. Again, it was a big risk because people knew me for my Western food. And suddenly here I was showing them Goan food.
Hmm.
I could either make it or break it.
Hmm.
But again, God has been very supportive and He's blessed us. And it was a huge success. So, me was celebrating world cuisine and here I was celebrating Goan food.
So earlier when you started with Kavatina, it was about world cuisine, and then you reduced it down to Goan cuisine. Weren't you scared while taking this risk?
Yes, I was scared. Again, as I said, a lot of guest expectation of eating a good steak at Kavatina or having a good pasta at Kavatina. Still, I get requests saying that we miss your pasta you did those years back. So I tell them, I said, see, I'm not an Italian,
Yeah.
right? However good my pasta might be, but an Italian's pasta will still be better than mine.
Hmm.
But my food, nobody else will make it better than me.
Sure.
So, which is why I said I'm going to stick to my strength
Yeah.
and I'm going to stick to my. And it was really from the heart. It was not for me to just artificially prove something.
Hmm.
I was so emotionally attached to all these artisans. Like, for example, a toddy tapper,
Yeah.
reindeer. In Goa, we call them reindeer. If a reindeer stops tomorrow, our food will change. Our vinegars for our marinades will not be there.
Hmm.
Our sannas will not be possible. Our what do you say? Different applications of what we use for our meats and pickles and all that will not be there. You imagine one guy moving out of the whole equation will change the entire taste of Goa. So these were the sentiments that I wanted to tell the diner.
Hmm.
You come for not just to eat, but you take back a memory and go.
Yeah. You need to also appreciate the culture and the roots of that particular
Yes.
place. Okay. So, what made you to come up with this name Kavatina? Is there some hidden story behind it?
Yes, Kavatina. So while I was doing my travels, I happened
Yes.
to be in Spain.
Yeah.
And in Barcelona, I was having a meal.
Okay.
And it was one of those small tapas bars and very, close knit bars.
Yes.
And while eating and having my sangria, I happened to listen to these guys playing a beautiful song.
Yes.
It's an instrumental song they played. And I just couldn't stop. I was like, my jaws dropped. I was listening to the song. I stopped everything. And then once they finished, I went to them and I asked them the name of the song.
Okay.
So it's called Kavatina.
That kind of melody.
Yes. If you Google Kavatina, it's a motion picture soundtrack from the movie The Deer Hunter.
Oh yeah.
But they played it such beautifully. And then I Googled what the meaning of Kavatina was. So Kava is to dig up.
Hmm.
Which means it fit my philosophy so well that I want to dig up. I want
Get into
to I want to get things up, the best out of me.
Hmm.
So that's when I decided that if and when I have my own restaurant, it's going to be called
Yes.
Kavatina.
Okay.
And
Oh, what about tables on hill? Like, how did you come up with this idea?
yes, so Table in the Hills is our ancestral property.
Okay.
It's surrounding the border wheel,
Yes.
and it's been there for ages. It's my inheritance from my great grandfather, and it's a coconut and a cashew plantation.
Okay.
So there we used to go for pado. Pado is plucking of coconut with
Okay.
my granny.
Okay.
The padakars used to come,
Yes.
and there was a ritual they performed.
Yes.
Even counting the coconuts, there was a tune they made.
Okay.
And I was too small to remember all this. I was probably like 6 years old.
Yes.
Then after 2-3 years, Granny passed away, and then I think then I was abroad, and when I came back, this whole chapter of Pado was gone.
Hmm.
The Padekar's son were not ready to take the profession. They
Yeah.
were with Portuguese passports in the UK and doing whatnot. And this full thing of one profession getting swiped off.
Hmm.
And here I was reminiscing, thinking of my childhood days. We used to come to this property. We used to go for kanda and chura and bora, zamra, and eat arsora and spend such a gala time there. And what is it? What is it? What's the fate? So I said, let me use my culinary background to narrate the story.
Hmm.
So where our laws used to be, where we used to store coconuts,
Yes.
I modified that to make it a table where
Yes.
I host 12 people.
Okay.
That is by a nice water, spring water.
Yeah.
Zoriche Udo.
Hmm.
So we use cooking water from the spring.
Yes.
We use leftover forage food for making our food.
Yes.
And the same philosophy at Kavatina. Local food, but at a very high end level, like a Michelin level.
Local food, but with the best of its quality.
Best of its things. So it's a, and I am there for every meal. I personally narrate the story. I personally tell what my granny used to tell me, what my forefathers used to tell me. And it's about, you feel a different ambience there.
Do you still remember the stories which your granny used to tell you?
100%. I remember all of them.
Can you share one of it, like something which every Goan would probably love to know?
There are so many. I'll tell you one of the land.
Yes.
My grandfather.
Yes.
He was a capitan in the Portuguese army. So they used to go hunting. So they used to come to our property. Our property is two mountains, about some 400 acres or something like
Yes.
that. I don't even know the boundaries. Granny used to say, don't never build a wall because there are animals, there are birds.
Hmm.
They don't need to know the boundaries. For them, it is one land. Even the fruits, what grow there, all the mango trees, the chiku trees, the whatever trees are there, jackfruit and blah blah blah. The trees, whatever they give us, fruit, should be enough for us, for
Yep.
the animals, for the birds, and the land.
Hmm.
So this is the policy, right? It's inclusive.
Yes.
It's not about building fences and doing electrical barbed wires and all that. It's about
Respecting nature.
respecting Mother Earth,
Yeah.
right? So that is the philosophy that my granny has given me.
And you are carrying it forward through
I
your
have to
different.
carry it
Yeah.
forward. I can't say that I'm going to build huts there and do a mess there, do a party place, do a picnic place. I am not doing any sort of that nonsense. I want to keep it as pure as it was as my grandfather's days. So that is something which has stuck. There are so many small stories of what my grandfather, what my granny has done good for the community, and that comes back as blessings to us.
Hmm.
Somebody's good word is always a blessing, and that's what granny has always said. Panache, don't take a bad word or don't take shirap from anybody, but take besa.
Yes.
So that's my what do you say?
Go to thing.
That's my go-to thing. I look at that. Even by designing my menus, I don't look at profit. This will cost me so much. No. If it has to have a sentimental value, that value is far high than any costly ingredient for me.
Hmm.
If it has to be there, it has to be there.
Yes. I think very few people in current era are actually able to have that kind of emotion and are able to keep themselves, connected to their roots, especially in current situation wherein everyone has that intense urge of making a lot of money having to at any cost.
Money doesn't defy everything. For
Yeah.
me, money will follow,
Yes.
but not doing the wrong practices. You have to do the good practices. Money will come running to me, and it's happening. I'm not running after money anymore.
Hmm.
If you do good, people appreciate your good work, and I'm always booked, which is why I'm traveling. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. It's all as a blessing, and we are not selling Mother Goa. We
Yes.
are enhancing Mother Goa.
Yes.
We are enhancing the people of Goa. So I even had a film done on Z, where I did this program called Food Fable Family with
Oh.
Avinash Martins, where we went and did one episode on one man artisan.
Oh.
Yeah, it was about. It's not about me.
Yeah.
It's about always about we.
Hmm.
It's never I. It's the whole
Yeah.
of all of us, and that's the way I look at it. It's never me.
Hmm.
Even I tell my team that I can achieve only so much.
Yes.
I have only two hands.
Yes.
But all of us put together,
Can
my
do.
team is about Panjim and Kavatina put together. We have so many of us. We can achieve so much.
Sure. Something personal I would love to ask.
Sure.
I saw that your wife plays a huge role when it comes to supporting you or while scheduling everything. In fact, when I contacted her, she was the first person I interacted with.
Yes.
I would love to know how you met her. Like,
Yes, so we met in our first postings.
yes,
After my post graduation, I met her. My was posted at the Impro in New Delhi, and that's where I met her.
is she a chef as well?
No, she's from the F&B background.
Okay.
She is more of guest handling and service
Yes.
setups, menu knowledge, wine knowledge, bar knowledge. That's her competence.
Yeah.
Then we dated each other for a long time, and then we got married.
Yes.
And then our vision was to start our own small space,
Yes.
which we did. And there she took up a bigger role. She said that I'm always passionate about desserts.
Yes.
Can I start my desserts? I said, of course you can. If you're a passionate person, you don't have to have a degree to do whatever you want to do. And I'm so glad. It's again a blessing. Her desserts are absolutely stunning. She's a very persistent person, very patient person, and she spends a lot of time. In fact, I mean, what she does even I can't do. She's balancing the home because we have a son,
Yes.
and she makes sure that she prepares his meal, his tiffin, absolutely fresh. Nothing comes out of a packet.
Yes.
So his morning breakfast, fruits, his afternoon meal is made homemade by her.
How
every
difficult is
day.
it to manage all this?
See, when there's a passion quotient, then all these difficulties are nothing. Right? For us also, we work at hours which are not like a common man's hours. Right? We work. We start in the morning. We go to the market. We pick up ingredients. We process. We work.
Do you do it all by yourself till date?
I have a team, but the core thing is mine. If I don't check, then I don't feel comfortable. You know, even if I have to, a driver goes with me.
Yeah.
But I go see, what is that today? This is fresh today. That is it. And then the thing is loaded and sent to different outlets. But what happens is, if you don't go, then the vendor and your relationship becomes like a transaction.
Just like a business thing.
Just like a business. So today everything works on a call.
Yeah.
I am opposite that. I would rather go, Arey Baba, how are you today? Aaj ki jada fresh, ki jada samaga. That bonding of 2 days they don't see me, they call me, Arey Patra, hu ya sir, I have not come today. So when I travel, I tell them, don't expect me for 4-5 days, I'm out. But if I'm there, I'll definitely come. Take them for a cup of chai, sit down, listen to their sentiment. It makes a lot of difference.
Kind of extended family. You have.
100, see, they are a part of my family.
Yes.
I don't say extended because without their support, I am not able to do whatever I do.
Yeah.
So it's a full community that supports me. You'll be surprised. In my this is Margaon house, and I have my ancestral house in Delhi.
Yeah.
We just moved in a few months back. But in Wheeling, I get my catch of the day sent home.
Oh.
All my the guys who get my crab, they're from Betul.
Yeah.
So I have the first right of refusal there. So still, Bab crab adla, kulli dolya tuga. It's all there. So then from there we send it to Kavatina and Amani and here. So this relationship is, you can't put a monetary value on this.
Yes. You are one of the topmost chef in our country. Definitely respected for your profession and everything. How does your son react to your food? Like, do you get criticism from him?
My son is the biggest food critic in the house.
Okay.
From the very child,
Yes.
He's been exposed to good flavors.
Yes.
So even at home, we cook.
Yeah.
Okay, however busy it is.
Yeah.
For us, it is important that we get good ingredients.
Yes.
And we cook good food.
Yes.
So his tiffin is almost scavenged by his friends.
Okay.
Because I get to hear this from his schoolmates and their mothers that there's nobody, no mother who can compete with orange tiffin.
Yes.
So, orange tiffin, so we make for Orion and his friends.
Two tiffins you'll have
Yeah, we
to
make extra. We've got a big dabba for him because people want to try.
try,
this stuff.
definitely.
I think what better way if the kids of today are eating good ingredients,
Yes.
and he eats good ingredients. We don't shy away from making millet pancakes for him
Hmm.
with a nice maybe like a stew,
Yeah.
so that the combination is good. He loves those flavors. He loves Western flavors. He likes Pan Asian flavor.
Hmm.
So he's spoiled for because we can create food.
Yeah.
It's not that we have to fry those chicken nuggets
Hmm.
and put French fries in it. Not like that.
No, like because he has this privilege of eating the best flavors since childhood, like while having everyday conversation. Does he tell you some improvisation, something like that?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, he's a great. He's got a sharp palate.
Hmm.
So he always says this. It could have been a little more less. If you all like the other day, I think they got some shakuti made from Kavatina,
Hmm.
and he realized it was not fine enough. It was a little coarse. So he mentioned to my wife saying that
This is
the roast is not fine. It has to be a little more finer. It's a little coarse. So, and then I saw a message that my wife put on the group saying that audience observations, please correct.
I think he's going to carry forward your.
I don't know whether he's going to carry forward the profession per se because he's football enthusiast. He
Oh, that's nice.
loves his football. He eats, dreams, breathes, sleeps football, and we are encouraging him for that.
Sure.
So yeah, I mean, his life, his future, but we are there to back him up, whatever it is.
Yeah. Okay. So you had this honor of cooking at the grand event, which is the Ambani wedding,
Yeah.
and it had been talk of town throughout during the wedding season. So, what was your experience like? How did they contact you?
They contacted me because I'm in the food circuit of India.
Yeah.
So Ambanis obviously did their study,
Yeah.
and chefs from across the world were being invited.
Yeah.
It was a privilege for me to represent Goa.
Yeah.
So when I first met them before the wedding, and I was doing food trials for them,
Hmm.
they said, "Chef, we understand that you're the best to represent Goa." These were their words. And give us flavors of Goa. Don't give us those molecular bubbles and smokes and this and that. We want hearty flavors. And that's what I did. I represented various communities of Goa, right from the Veldips, their food, right from the Saraswats, their food,
Hmm.
right from the Catholics, their food, but full vegetarian,
Only veg.
only vegetarian. So when I presented to them, they loved the food. And they told me that, Chef, are you sure this is all veg? I said 100% veg. There's nothing wrong with this. Yes, I was cooking with the best of
Chefs.
industry patrons, I would say.
Hmm.
In fact, by the side of me, where I was cooking for the main event, there was Chef Virgilio Martinez from Peru.
Hmm.
His restaurant was in, the world's number one, Central. So here was Avinash Martins next to Virgilio Martinez. So it was a privilege for me to sample his food, and he did mine as well. It was the world's best over there.
Hmm.
The entire world was parked there for I think, the whole wedding.
Yeah. Okay. So, when you met them for the first time, how was your experience with them as a human being? Like, what do you think about them?
They are very down to earth people. It's not. Sometimes I feel people portray them as very arrogant and all. What I saw, they are very down to earth. They are very humble people.
Yeah.
They ate my food and they sat with me. They asked me about my background, my family, and whatever I need. They said, "Don't worry, we'll make sure that you're getting a good kitchen to work with." So, I mean, at the end of the day, they are good human beings, is what I feel.
Yeah.
They might be rich, of course, they've come up their way,
Yes.
but they're good. They're good people.
Okay. So, how did you decide upon menu for them? Like, when it comes to the wedding thing?
See, they wanted the best.
Yeah.
Okay. How I could pair my best along with the world's best is by doing two things. One is my sauces, my mother's sauces,
Hmm.
be it a kafrial, be it a ambotti, be it a kaldin, be it a shakuti,
Yeah.
be it a jire mire.
Yes.
I did them all in Goa
Yes.
on a rogda, on a grinding stone.
You did it there.
Yes, I did it here in Goa.
Okay.
Then I took the masalas and backpacked them, sealed them, and then I put them in a dry ice container and I shipped them to Bombay. Now the masalas were ready. How I apply them is a different technique, right? So I said, give me the best of Japanese mushroom. So I paired enoki and a shimeji and a oyster trumpet with our shakudi because our shakudi is very robust.
Yes.
It goes well with a mutton or a chicken. And these mushrooms are very meaty. Like a lion's head is almost like meat. So I paired that with the mushroom. Again, they loved it. Then I said, let me do a nice, delicate asparagus. So I flew in asparagus from Peru. So this fat Peruvian white asparagus, almost I think 4,000 rupees a kilo. I paired that delicate asparagus with a delicate kaldi. These chunks of fat asparagus, people were loving it. So I used our Goanness to enhance it with these exotic ingredients. Right? We imported, I mean, a lot of things were imported. Tender coconuts. I took our arsoda from Goa. I took the malai and we made a malai dish there. It was a hit. So, that's the way I represent Goa. There's this community in Netraveli called the Dangar.
Dangar.
Dangar. They are the nomads.
Yeah.
They take goats and they are around. So they make this cheese. Whatever leftover milk they don't sell,
Yeah.
they make a cheese out of it.
In Goa.
In Goa.
Oh.
Yes. So I did a goat cheese puma, which is like a light, fluffy goat cheese with my style. So I use red bell pepper, yellow bell pepper, honey, gramola here and there. And I made that dish for them.
I'm drooling well. Okay. Sachin Tendulkar is known to visit your premises every time he's in Goa. Like I often see him posting about your premises while he's in Goa. Which is his favorite dish? Like what he loves the most at your restaurant?
See, Sachin is truly a master.
Yeah.
Not only at his skill of batting and that, but his taste buds are very sharp. He understands good flavors. So when Sachin comes to me, mostly it's a very seafood heavy diet.
Yeah.
But we try and give him a mix of everything. I try not to make it the same monotony of whatever comes. So his favorite is the crab soup. We do we call it a crab shek bisque. So you know what is a Goan crab shek. So I've fine-tuned it and made it a refined soup, which he loves. In fact, even Arjun Tendulkar, whenever he's around, he comes, eats his 2 bowls of soup. Then he has these other stuff. So they enjoy good food. He is, and he sends a lot of the cricketing fraternity to mine. As a result, Ajay Jadeja, UV, then apna Ashish Nehra, now recently Surya Kumar Yadav. These guys keep on coming.
What they are looking for is the good food.
Of course, it's good food, and it's how I'm representing Goa into that food. See, if you go to any other place, and all this due respect to everybody, I'm not trying to be them or anything. But what you'll get? You'll get the same thali. You'll get the regular kafrial. You'll get the amorti, fried masala, this, and that's about it. It ends there, right? Very few places will give you something creative. Here I'm doing a celebration of 3 leaves. I'm calling Patra de Goa. Patra means leaf. So we are wrapping tonak with the green masala. Now green masala is not the general chutney. We are doing raw mango for Andhra with spices, wrapping it up and then baking it. So it's like steam. Then we are doing a fish too in corn. Corn, maize, corn leaf. We are making a stew inside that. And then we are doing another preparation which is again done in the leaf. So we are celebrating the leaf, although it's seafood on top, but it's a celebration of the leaf.
Celebration of the nature.
Nature. And if you remember our ancestors, the invitation pan nasa. Pan nasa. Why pan? Why we used to eat on a pan. So that has stayed in my mind, and we said, let's do this. So each and every whatever aspect is there has thought process before we put on the menu.
Okay. So Goan cuisine is often reduced to seafood and vindaloo during mainstream conversation. What are some hidden gems of Goan food that you wish more people should know about?
I really have worked extensively with our tribes,
Right.
tribal.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, tribal people are coming from extreme ends of Goa, rather Perne and onwards, and Kanpon onwards.
Yeah.
So I did a lot of workshops with these people.
Yeah.
I've invited them to my farm, and I've worked and cooked with them. So we do a lot of Vedi, Gaonkar, Gaudi, Kudubi food, which is pre-Saraswat, pre-Portuguese. They use minimalistic ingredients. They don't even use oil. They use bindel. Bindel is cocoa seed, which is dried and pressed. So they make such lovely food.
And that's also healthy.
Very healthy. They use a lot of your nachani, millets.
Yeah.
So they'll make a nachni porridge. They'll make chapati or like a pancake out of your rice flour. And then they do whatever is their yield. So sweet potato, bhaji, whatever they grow, tabdi or dovi, different type of beans, alsande, this, that, without any tomatoes, without any, sometimes onion, yes, but you can see that they are using prehistoric ingredients. Chili will be green, will not be red. They use haldi, no garam masalas, and such tasty food. You feel very. Um, I can't get the word, but you feel so blessed after eating that food. So I want to represent these foods as a part of Goa.
Yes.
Right? There are so many vegetarian beautiful dishes our Saraswats make.
Yes.
When I get invited for Ganpati, I almost cry for that Ganpati meal because it's without onion, without garlic, and such beautiful flavors. My friends who invite me, I never want to miss that Ganpati food. And it's very different, right?
Yeah.
Without onion, no garlic, you can make such lovely food. Khatkate and all is, my God. So although khatkate is made during Ganpati time only, but who is stopping me from serving this beautiful stew like a dish to our guests?
Yes.
At least they know that khatkate exists. At least they know Alsande Tonak exists.
Yes.
See, for me, when the guest says, I want Goan fish curry, I said there's nothing like that. There's nothing like a Goan fish curry. There's nothing. If you ask me, there is a prawn hummer, there's a आमचे बांगड्याचे उदमेथी, there is a ताल्यांचे सुकें, there is a शाकाचे आंबट तीख, there is pofrit kaldin, there is, there are so many things. You talk to me like that, then they oh, we didn't know this.
Specifics one.
There are our food is such beautifully done.
Yeah.
See, there is a difference between Catholic food and Hindu food. As a culinarian, I appreciate what our Hindu community is doing because they are being very specific.
Yeah.
Talyan tefad gaate hain. For something plain, no tefad. Depending on the style of the fish.
Yes.
Catholics sometimes they have a generic. They have curry masala, prawns, bangde, whatever. But I lean more towards the Hindu style of for the curries. I love their preparations. Of course, Catholics, they are good at handling their meats. They do good roasts. They do good barbecues and here and there. So everybody is got their kya bolte hain? They are shining stars, which we have to appreciate and showcase it to the outside.
Yes. Okay. If someone wants to truly understand Goan cuisine, then what are 5 must-try items in your opinion? If a non-Goan comes to you, something like
5 will be less. Yeah. I think we have to give them more options.
Okay, let's say 7.
See, right from, I would say, our bread of Goa.
Yeah.
Right? The pav is the identity of Goa. The Jesuits taught Goans to make pav.
Okay,
in Majorda.
Yeah.
And the whole Majorda were bread makers and they spread all across Goa. So when the Portuguese princess married the British prince, as a dowry, some cooks also were sent to Bombay. They taught the British how to make bread in Bombay. And that's how bread spread all over India.
Yeah.
The root is Goa. Such a beautiful story.
Yes.
Also the bread which existed here. pode, koilodio, and banana bread, and yeah bread, oh bread. We had all these things also happening, right? So bread itself is such a big, vast topic. Then comes your tonaks,
Tonak.
tonak,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Tonak. So many different varieties of tonak, be it veg, be it seafood, such lovely varieties. Then, so that really represents the Hindu Saraswat. Then, if you talk about meats, there are different lamb preparations, chicken preparations, which pork preparations, which the Catholic community does in Goa, which is also so unique, thanks to the Portuguese who brought that sort of a culture. What about the unique desserts which Goa has? Alright, so right from the Saraswats, right from the Catholics, if you see the contrast of desserts, it's amazing. You have bakes, you have stews, you have slow, very light based desserts. I mean, I love this mangane, right? I love so many different aspects. Which is that thing called you make with nachani and coconut milk. It's almost like a
Sattu.
satwa. Satwa, I made a creme brulee out of it. I used the ratio of coconut milk with, and I set it, and that jaggery, and I tossed it. So it was like a creme brulee. So such amazing things which are broadly there. I think our food is. I'm proud of my food. That's all I can say.
It makes me feel more proud when you talk about this food. I see that you talk a lot about Goan Saraswat cuisine. Do you think it has that much potential to get global recognition?
Of course it does. It has.
Like how people talk about pastas internationally, pizzas, then something like that.
See, now pizzas, pastas, everybody in Italy is eating.
Yeah.
It's not like a dosa where South India has originated.
Yeah.
Or if you say paratha, which is originated in the north
Punjab,
of India.
yeah.
We have to look at some icons for the world to look at us. I personally believe that India is not 29 states, it's 29 countries. Each and every state is blessed with his or her own signatures. As Goa, I'm not even looking at Maharashtra, I'm not even in Kerala. Each and every cuisine is beautiful. But for me, as a Goan, there is so much to represent. And we always have these by crosses, right?
Yeah.
It's not like from here to Malvan, it's 2.5 hours. The food is not drastically different. Certain things they are using, we are using, but the ratios might be different. But they can appreciate our food, we can appreciate their food.
Sure.
So I feel that as a whole representation of Goa, it has to be a balance. You can't just do Catholic food, which is more vinegary, chili, or you can't do holy Saraswat food, which is very mellow. You have to pick out balances. It has to be, it's a song.
Best
At the
of
end of
both.
the day, it's an orchestration of various flavors coming together.
Yeah.
That's how the country, that's how the state will win, not by one community or handful of people.
Yeah.
It's everybody's contribution to it which makes it unique.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, if you could put one last meal, what would that be? Like after that, you can't cook anything.
Ah, my God. One last meal.
Yeah.
Oh, I love mutton
Okay.
and I love shagudi.
Just one. Either of it.
So mutton shagudi
Okay. Mutton. Okay.
is my, yeah, I mean that would be my last, and after that if I go away from the world, that would be my last.
Okay. After years of cooking for people, what's one dish that still makes you nostalgic? Like something probably you must have learned it from your grandparents, and it makes you.
There are so many, I can't just give you one. My granny was a great cook herself. So my granny had this repertoire. Every Sunday she made this seafood stew
Okay.
called kaldarat.
Hmm.
So I knew Sunday granny's home was kaldarat day. In the summers, we knew that it was a celebration of. So my summer memory of my village was dried pickles and paras and jams and all this dried stuff which was kept for Puruman, for the rains.
Yeah.
So our storeroom was like packed. There were like streams which were there because these jars were this was that. Podante Tora, and here, and it. You had to navigate.
Yes.
Nowadays the storeroom is empty. Sad. Why? Because fridges are come.
Yeah.
Before no fridges were there. If you had to rejuvenate a mackerel, you had to put it in salt, warm water in the night to make something out of it for the morning.
Yeah.
And that khare bangdache curry used to be next level. Now who has the time and the patience? So this is what we are reviving. I'm doing all the practices and I'm talking to all these oldies who are 80 years old, 70 years old, who are can give me what the insight was those years back.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have a dream collaboration with any food personality or some chef internationally, nationally? Like you wish you can work with him and come up with something really wonderful.
There are so many of these beautiful chefs who are doing beautiful stuff all over the world.
Just one if you can choose.
Yes, one is Chef Thomas Keller.
What do you want to come up with? Some.
He's an American chef trained in France, but
Yes.
he's bought his own identity in a land like America, where America is deeming for junk food and they don't have their own cuisine and this and that, right? But here's a chef who says, I'm going to be in Napa Valley, California.
Yeah.
I'm going to make American food great. And I always inspired to that chef. He's got the glory, he's a 3-star Michelin. He's done well for himself. So yes, if I have to do a 4-hands cooking, it would be me with Chef Thomas Keller in Napa Valley. That would be something.
Before we are almost towards the end. Last two questions. I wanted to know, like, do you have passion for writing and all? Like, you have a very good hold over communication and conveying your point
Yes,
of.
I have a passion for art. So for me, art is in the form of I paint. I
Yeah.
do my sketches. So whenever I have a thought of what I want to present,
Yeah.
I do a sketch of it. And then when a sketch is seen, then the team also can relate to what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Painting is my love again. I love
Okay.
music
Yeah.
and I love writing. So I'm working on a book, which is again, it's called, I'm not got the title done yet, but it's about Goa stories, food and memories.
Yeah.
So what my grannies, what my neighbor I used to say, it's all been documented for people for the next generation to look and
Learn
be
from.
happy
Yeah.
about. Yes.
No, because when I came over here, I thought like I am going to have a conversation with a chef who'll have just a very good knowledge about food. But I was totally inspired to see that you have amazing delivery when it comes to passing your message to someone. Like I just loved it.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Okay, so what are some underrated ingredients that not only make Goan food delicious, but at the same time healthy, and you wish that people start using it more frequently to their everyday diet?
100%. One is Moringa,
Okay.
Moshiga Sang we say.
Yes.
Okay. I feel that it's one of the miracle trees.
Just a question: how can you make it tasty though?
I'll tell you. So I'll tell you how moringas were there in villages. If
Yeah.
you see the moringa where it used to be near a well.
Okay.
Mostly you see a moringa, it's near a well.
Yeah.
What happens is the moringa leaves shed in the well. Moringa leaves clarify the water. They make it bacteria free. And that's why our wells were free of all these E. coli and harmful bacteria. Look at the way our ancestors planted trees
Things.
or made things. Such beautiful things. Now, moringa, if you have it in the term of the pod,
Yeah.
Moshiga Sang. Now, we've been used to putting it in the humana or putting it in sambar. But there are so many ways of making it beautiful, tasty. Like, I would love to have a Moshiga Sang into a nice Thai style curry. I can eat a kilo of that. If you give it to me in a Thai style curry, fresh lemongrass, galangal, muddled lemon leaf, good green curry. You put moringa into that. Oh, fantastic. Flowers. Flowers you can do a stir fry. You can do a cutlet out of it. Leaves. Leaves are little on the sour side. So you wash, dry the leaves, and you put a nice tadka of mustard seeds, curry leaves, ginger, a bit of jaggery, and then you incorporate that into the leaves with ghee and into the rice. It's beautiful. So, see, I think you have to get to a point where you understand ingredients. Once you know the characteristic of this particular ingredient, you can make it beautiful. Now, at my new restaurant, Janot,
Yeah.
I'm doing a roasted chana with a banana sauce.
Oh.
Would you imagine? A banana, people say dessert or yeah, banana sauce. But once they taste it, I put a little bit of passion fruit pulp into it. And we balance the acidity, the sweetness, the umami. And then once the guest has eaten it, we didn't know this. So this is what I'm saying comes after a lot of working with ingredients. You get some sort of
Knowledge in it.
yes, you get this awakening of what can pair with what.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Chef, for joining us today and sharing not only your journey but also your passion for storytelling through different ways, especially through your culinary ways. Your I'm sure our listeners will be living this episode feeling droll after listening about so many food and with heart full and mind curious. Thank you once again for joining us.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure having you, and thank you for having me on your show.
It was our pleasure to have you as well. Thank you, listeners, for joining us today on this special episode of Popcorn with Piyu. I'm sure that you guys are drooling while living this episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Until the next time, take care.